Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Jasmine, the Buffet Witch. But you're well aware, today I am just playing in the makeups real quick. I kind of have a busy day today, even though it's already almost 2 o'clock. Oh, actually it's only 1:30. Little Bear fell asleep, of course, right when I wanted to make him lunch so we could go to the store in a little bit. And then we're going to my sister's house, and she and I are going to go to Ulta. I'm going to pick up Chick-fil-A for my nephews and then pizza for the adults. So that's not a ton of things to do, but for me, an introvert, that's a heavy itinerary, okay? But since Dom is asleep and I did my chores, I wanted to clean out my hair box. I cleaned out the bathroom situation. I thought I would play while he's laying down. I have no idea when he's gonna wake up, so we're just gonna do this. Today we're gonna play with some Ulta Beauty. So I've been on the website because, like I said, my sister and I are going, and then our older sister, she asked me for some makeup, and she doesn't usually do that. So there's going to be some shopping to be had. I, however, am not really gonna be purchasing anything for myself. I don't need anything, but I did see some things from the Ulta Beauty brand that were really like $1. These are things that are being phased out, and I have actually really enjoyed Ulta's brand, and I'm really interested. Anytime I see any of their products on clearance, I get them because I am going to eventually do a full face of their updated stuff, and I kind of want something to have a little, you know, a little experience with. So I want to see what their old formulas were like and what the new formulas are like. I have a ton in that category, but I have some, so I might pick those things up for myself. It was literally like 5 or 6 items, and they were all $1 or $1.90, which is super rare for me to find a steal like that on the Ultas. So anyways, today I'm going to be playing with the Ulta Beauty Complexion Crush Medium Coverage Foundation. I picked this up months ago, and this is in tan to dark olive, and hopefully this works. I picked it up for $2. Okay, it was $3.50. But I picked it up for $2. So we're gonna give her a try. She looks real neutral, which could be a good thing, but we'll see. So I'm gonna just use the, she looks a little light. She just look a little light. So we shall see. I'm also going to be using Ulta Beauty's brushes. These are the old ones. Like I said, they have reformulated their products, and they have rebranded things and did new packaging. So you can no longer get the brushes that look like this. But these are amazing. I love my Ulta Beauty brushes, okay? So this is the foundation. She looks a little light, but we'll see if the undertone is right. Ooh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do we do? You know what? What do we do? We're gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going because it looks like it's an okay match for the center of my face. Not entirely, it is just a little bit too light. But the perimeter of the face, honey, oh no, she needs some milk. Okay, she needs some help. She is going to need all the help. Prayers, goodwill, intentions, good luck. Cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross your eyes, okay? Because that is milky. Okay. But let's just talk about the coverage real quick. And there's a hair on my face because of course there is. So what did this say? Medium coverage. I would say this is a light coverage foundation. I don't really see much coverage. I would say this is a light coverage foundation. So this isn't really about whether or not this is a good foundation or not. I'm just trying it, you know, I have it, so I'm trying it. Color is off, and we're gonna add some coverage to her with something I know works. Just so we can finish this look, okay? So I'm gonna pull out my Tinted Doll because it's the foundation that I have out, so I ain't gotta reach nowhere. And I'm just going to, did I really just get makeup on my brand new Nightmare Before Christmas shirt. Like, why? Why, Lancome? Why would you do this to me? Are you empty? Is that why you did it to me? God, this is... We're banging on all cylinders here, having a good time. Okay. Anyways, yeah. We're gonna mix some Lancome into this I was about to say Caucasian. Into this concoction that's trying to make me look Caucasian, girl. Just so we can finish up the makeup, okay? See what happened to that bump that was there? They just show up, they dry out, they turn dark, and then they disappear. Very rude. Very rude. Okay. Not terrible, but of course, Miss Lancome definitely helped add both coverage and a little bit of the right color, but it's still quite off. That's all right. We're gonna keep going, okay? So the next thing from Ulta I have, and I have used this many a time. I've bought many tubes of it. I know it works. I love it so much. It's going to be the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. These are waterproof. These are beautiful. I love them. I just wish that Ulta would redo their color ranges. The problem with Ulta's ranges is once you get to the dark colors, it's like they just stop caring. The undertones are very much like end of the spectrum. So it's either super red, super orange, or super gray. Maybe in between those you can find a little bit of something and tweak it, but the dark colors are terrible. I will say that. So in the concealer, I'm actually using Deep Warm, which is quite orangey yellow for me. It's not as neutral as I would like. So I'm going to be mixing in a little bit of my Nikki K concealer and just putting that in the inner portion of my eye just for a little bit of brightness, because this color doesn't actually brighten me up at all. Now the concealers are not terrible. I've tried, I know more about this particular concealer than I do any of their foundations, but color wise, still when you look at the swatches and the just the range that they have for their foundation and their complexion products, also could really stand to I don't know, talk to some people of color, maybe swatch on some actual people of color and redo their colors, because it's a little bit abysmal if I'm being honest. So but there are some colors I can make work. I shouldn't have to make it work, but I can, you know what I mean? If you ask me why I'm putting my concealer on with this big ass brush, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Maybe I'm just worried about my son waking up, so I'm not thinking. I'm not sure. But I'm just gonna bring that up into this area of my eyeball. So I don't have any like loose setting powder from Ulta. That's all right. And I was just sitting here thinking, like, I don't have any just like white translucent setting powders. I'm really interested in, remember when everybody was doing that, what was that called? What was it? The no color or the colorless powder from what brand is it? Is it Ben Nye? I don't know. I've been watching Alexa Chung, and she really loves MAC, Ben Nye. I think those are the two main brands I've seen her play with, and she really likes those powders from Ben Nye and like the luxury powders. And oh no, the colorless thing is RCMC or something. RMC, it's letters. You know what I'm talking about. I'll put it up on the screen. I'm interested in trying some of those luxury powders from Ben Nye. You know, a lot of brands have duped those, so I might try some of those eventually. But moving on, so from Ulta, I do also have this matte finishing powder. This is also something I picked up on clearance. She's really red. And I picked this up because I thought the foundation was going to be very neutral and way too light. So this will help bring some warmth back to the face. I'm gonna be very, very, very sparing, like use this very sparingly so we don't end up looking too red, because first we're a little bit too bright, but still neutral, which is good. But we don't wanna go too red, orangey, murky, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eye. Like I said, I don't have a loose powder from Ulta. I've pulled out my Fenty Cashew. I love this concealer, this powder. I love it, especially with the Nikki K, because the Nikki K concealer is so emollient and this powder is so dry. And I love it for its dryness, actually. And I'm not gonna go too heavy. I usually do add a lot of this powder. I really try to powder my face down. But we're not gonna do too much today, because I will be taking this off before I go to my sister's, okay? So now I'm going to use this powder, and I have another Ulta Beauty brush. I love these brushes. I'll say that every time I pick them up. We're gonna go into a little bit of this. I'm gonna work on the perimeter of the face first, see what she looks like. Oh yeah, if we buff this on really gentle, like in a really thin layer, this could work well. She's bringing just a little bit of extra goldish red to my skin, but not too much. You can really see it when I blend it with the underside of the Fenty powder. She's very matte, which is nice. I do like that. What's happening there? You see that? What's that? And I'm really using a very small amount and just like tapping it on the skin. I don't want to get blotchy. Okay, I like that. Because I haven't been able to like set this, why did I say because like that? I'm gonna take a little bit of my Fenty and I'm gonna just set around the mouth, and then we're gonna go ahead and reset with the Ulta powder to dust this away. There we go. I think we made that work. Yeah? Okay. For bronzer, since I have it out, I'm going to use the LYS. Just make sure I don't get that foundation everywhere. I'm going to use the... Oh, I pulled out a Essence brush. I'm going to use that for my blush contour highlight situation. Okay. And then from Ulta, one of my favorite blush products. This is the Berry Spice palette. It's a trio. This is actually my second one. I used to have the original version. So this is their updated one. It used to be in black, that grayish, or that like blackish gray packaging that they used to have, like this. And I loved that blush. I started, when I first got it, I was only using, well, really I was only using the coral shade, I think. And then I started using the berry. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what? Let me just try the light shade. It was called Matte Desert Rose. And it was so light. And you look at it, you'd be like, oh, Jasmine isn't gonna wear that. But on my skin tone, it turned into the most beautiful, barely there blush. And it became the blush that I used religiously. I didn't even use the other two. Before I had to declutter it, because it was starting to smell, I had just started using the other two. But for the most part, I use this one. The berry one, I rarely use because I have other like deeper blushes that I prefer. But I love these two shades. And this one, just watch, okay? So nothing on the cheeks as far as blush. And going into this, it looks like it wouldn't do very much on me, but it does. Look at that, you see it? It just gives a beautiful flush, like, and it doesn't even look like that's what it looks like. I went into this really gently, but I didn't. I love this blush so, so much. I can't remember how much this was, but I love this blush trio. There is a second one as well. I believe it's more pinky. And it's very light, very, very light. I couldn't get away with that one. So I love this blush, and I said when I got this one, I was like, I'm going to use it completely before I have to declutter it, because the other one was smelling like crayons, okay? But that is that blush. I love that. Look at that, gorgeous. For our highlight, I don't have any highlight from Ulta. I was very close to buying some. So I'm gonna pull out my Tarte blush, or a highlighter. This is the shade Shine. I'm just using the same brush. And we're just popping that on. These Tarte blushes are really nice. I think it's my first time dabbling with the Maracuja blushes, right? Isn't that what these are? Yeah. Oh, no, not Maracuja. Amazonian clay. Okay, so that is the base. The foundation is going to be, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 buffets because it has potential. This is an area where I could totally mix this into something else. I could find a foundation that's a little bit darker that I have, or find a foundation that works for my skin tone, and I could use this with it, lighten it up, put it under the eye if I wanna, you know, skip concealer type thing like that. But all in all, I was able to make this wrong shade work. It doesn't look like I'm wearing the wrong shade of foundation. And I don't mind mixing it with something else. I mix my two Juvia's Place foundations together. I mix the Juvia's like glow boostery thing with my, excuse me, with my NARS foundation. So I don't really mind mixing things like that. So I would actually be interested in getting some deepening mixing products like the blue I have. I would be interested in getting like a black or maybe a brown and seeing if I could auto adjust things. That would be really interesting to me. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 buffets because she has potential. She, you know, she just don't have the right tone for me, but that's okay. Well, color is bad, but the tone is good because it's olive. So that's why it works, because it's an olive undertone. I already love the concealer. There's no question about that. This is a great concealer. I think you should try it if you're in the market for one. This powder also worked really well. I feel like this will definitely be nice when I'm a little bit more tan, but this worked. It was able to kind of pull this from the brink. It's a good texture. I don't feel dry. It doesn't look like textured and cakey or anything like that. I hate saying cakey. It's pretty good. The blush is a win. She will always be a win. I love her so much. The brushes are amazing. I also have some eye brushes. So I'm gonna go ahead, go off camera, get the other things for the rest of the look, get my brows done, and we will jump into the eyeshadow. Okay guys, so I'm back. Now, I don't have any like powdered eyeshadows from Ulta, and I don't have any brow products from them. So I've switched out my brow drawer, and today I am not using my beloved Sludge Box. No, no, no. I am using a pomade from LA Girl, and then my color case just to clean up the bottom. And I feel crazy not using my Sludge Box, but we gotta let her sit down for a little bit because I don't want to use her all, and I do want to switch out the things in my collection. So excuse the yellow tongue. I'm having another golden latte. So much, or so it's so delicious. Wow. It's spicy. Okay, so because I don't have any powdered eyeshadow, I just pulled out a palette, and I'm going to be using the Connection Color Future Flame from MAC, and we are going to just do a really nice basic smoky eye, leaving a lot of the inner portion and the lid blank because I do have an Ulta glittery, shiny, shifty thing to use, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, just let you watch. I'm gonna put on a crease. You know the drill, okay? Okay, we're done. Yes, I did put that green liner in my waterline yet again. I'm addicted. What can I say? I really love it. Okay, so I've done just a basic smoky eye, dark, reddish, whatever. I really went a little bit deeper because I didn't want this to look so much like the last look that I did, which was like that pinky orangey look. So we've deepened it out. I love the way that it looks. Now, Ulta has these gel chrome eyeshadows. They come with these little globes here. And I feel like I've referenced these in a few videos. You should have seen them before. I do have 4 of them, and I saw people talking about them on the Bothered and Beautiful podcast. I should know the guy's name, but I keep missing that part. They were talking about these, and I had these in my cart before I heard them talk about them, and they are so good. So the last time I was at Ulta, like I said in those videos, they were there, I was there, my credit card was there, and then we all left together. Okay, so I picked up 4, and this is the shade Galaxy. She's going to be this like light blue. I don't know how to explain it because it's like, it's not, I wanted to say teal, like an aqua blue, you know? It's very minty, like a clean mint. What is that one mint called? Anyways, next color is called Supernova. She's going to be your lavender-y purple. Really into lavender right now. This is the color Nebula. She's a really beautiful soft pink. And then I cannot skip a shade that looks like this. This is the color Starlight. I am all for those white iridescent shades because these typically are going to shift like blue or purple, sometimes gold, but a lot of the time they're going to do like a blue purple type of deal. So this is the one that I want to use. I had no idea these were the colors I was going to put on the eyes as far as the shadows, but this is what we're going to use. So this is a gel formula. I'm going to go ahead and do the eye, and then I'll give you some swatches later. So this is a gel formula, which means it can be a little bit wet. You want to be careful on how you apply. So I'm gonna go straight in with my brush, okay? And then I'm gonna take the brush and swipe it down my hand, get a little bit of that moisture off. And then I'm gonna use that to tap onto the eye. By looking down, I can apply it. And this is kind of a look down, let it dry. Okay? So get it where you want it, look down, let it dry. Because it's quite juicy, all right? So now I'm gonna take my finger, and the rest that's on my hand is a little bit dry. You know what? We're gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna apply it to the other eye. Why can I not speak? I'm gonna apply it to the other eye, okay? But look down and let this dry, because this gel formula is so wet that if you have shadow, this is why I didn't put shadow where I'm applying this right now. It will displace the shadow because it is that wet and gooey, okay? Not sticky, but just like, think of hair gel. It feels like gel. So you need to put it on and let it dry. Now like that, it doesn't look, it's not very satisfying. It's not very impressive. We're gonna let this dry a little bit. I just found a fan. Where did I put it? I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. And this one's dry, so I'm gonna take a little bit more, and I'm just gonna tap that on. And this is how we're gonna get some opacity, a little bit of coverage. Okay, let that dry. I'm gonna do the other side. Yeah, we're gonna let this dry. Because when you don't, then it picks up, okay? So this definitely has a little bit of a learning curve, but it's doable. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we're just gonna let this dry a little bit. And when you add a very, very small amount, you can really kind of dust it on very nicely, okay? I am just a maximalist at heart when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm also gonna go into the greeny, bluey one, or the blue one. I'm just gonna use what's on the lid. And, okay, I'm gonna smear that on my hand. And I'm gonna pop that right on the edge. Now these are glitters, so as far as like seeing a ton of color right away, It might be a little bit difficult to see. I can see that. But it's just fun, you know, just a punchy way to have a little bit of different makeup without doing too much. It's just so juicy. Just so juicy. So definitely, this is a do one eye at a time, patience type of deal. But I like it, okay? So now I am going to go off camera again. I'm gonna pop on my last pair of lashes. I know, right? What is she doing with her life? Using lashes? Who are you? You know what? No lashes. No lashes. I am gonna buy more. And like I said, it sucks because I literally just threw away. I had a book of lashes and I could not get any of those lashes on. Then for some reason I got the Beauty Creation lashes and I was able to get those on. I honestly think it's because the bands were so thin on the Beauty Creations. But, all right, so I'm still toying with the Falsies Lash Lift from Maybelline. I don't really like this mascara. It doesn't really feel like it does all that much. I like a thicker formula. And I'm all out of my Lash Princess, which today I will be repurchasing that because I actually don't have a ton of mascaras left. Even though my no buy was supposed to be I can't buy more mascara until I only have one mascara. Ask me why I thought I could follow that. I don't know. I don't know, but apparently I can't. But now I know that there are only a few mascaras that I'm gonna purchase. Like, I'll never pick this up again. It's only gonna be Lash Princess. I really liked the Maybelline Rocket. That was a good foundation, or a good mascara. And this doesn't do too much. I like the L'Oreal. Is it L'Oreal or is it Maybelline Lash Paradise? I like that one. Maybe I'll get that one. That was good, because that was supposed to be like what drugstore dupe of Too Faced Better Than Sex, right? Yeah, they damn near copied the whole thing, the tube, everything. And the Better Than Sex mascara is really good. Their names, them and NARS, Too Faced and NARS need to chill. Can you just name your mascara something good like, ooh, better than no mascara? Like, what is this Better Than Sex crap? Like, dude. Anyways, all right, so that is the finished eye. I do have a few Ulta lips. I did a swatch video on my channel with the Ulta lipsticks that I own. Yeah, I'm not gonna swatch these. Is that okay? Do you care? Thank you. You're so understanding. I appreciate that. I do have lipsticks from Ulta, but I'm not going to pull them out. I don't want to. They're not super exciting. They're nice, but they're just basic colors. And again, I do have a lip swatch video on my channel if you want to see those. I am going to do what I've been doing, and I'm going to use my Juvia's Place products because I just really love this lip. And I feel like even though it's a little bit much, I feel like it goes with everything. So you already know the deal. Sheba as our liner. Look at that. I'm so proud of myself. Oof. And then Self Love. I love this lipstick. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cornflakes galore. Pause. Y'all, I'm sorry. I had a whole bowl of cereal on my lips. Good Lord. Not the cornflake factory. Not the boy worms. Okay, we are finished. I like the look. I do. It's a lot. It's extra. That's my style. I enjoy that for me, okay? Let's cut off a little bit of that forehead. Just a little bit today. That was a lot of forehead. Yeah. So that's the look. I enjoy it. I think it looks really pretty. I think the glittery things are it's gonna take a minute to figure out how to use those. But like I said, I do really enjoy that white shade because it typically goes purple or blue. And if I have a choice of a duochrome or a multichrome or a holographic shade, I prefer purple, blue, or green. But it really depends on the tone of green. So I really enjoy this. I'm loving the way the foundation feels. It looks okay. Now, how much of that is the Lancome? I don't know, you know, but together they look gorgeous. They really do. So it does make me very interested to continue trying the Ulta brand. I'm a little bit tempted to try their eyeshadows. It's just that given as large as my collection is, I don't really know that I'm interested in trying eyeshadows from every brand. I would prefer like a full face with like complexion, blush. I'll do mascaras, but now I kind of feel like I know what kind of mascaras I like and I don't really want to stray. Mascara is kind of that wonky category for me. I don't like to spend a ton of money on them, but if I do, it's for a specific reason. Like I do have a few high-end mascaras that I stand by. I don't purchase them often, but if I'm going to spend money on a high-end mascara, those are the certain ones. But even with the mainstream drugstore, more affordable mascaras, I'm not really interested in trying too many once I find ones that work. Like the Lash Princess, besides being incredibly affordable, it is a really amazing brush and formula. So that's enough for me to be like, that's the one I'm going for. So I'm not interested in trying any of Ulta's mascaras. They do have a lot of them, but a lot of brands do. And so the eyeshadows, I'm just not interested. The eyeshadow does not look, there's nothing bold, there's nothing fresh about their eyeshadows. They're kind of the what is it, Urban Decay Naked palette of eyeshadows. That's kind of the color schemes that they have with a pop here and there, but nothing that pulls my eye, nothing that makes me go, oh, I'm gonna get this palette from the Ulta Beauty brand. There's specialty shades though. There's singles. They have some of these like bouncy type of shades, or bouncy, it's like a bouncy eyeshadow. I'll put a picture of it here for you. Those are kind of interesting, but there's really nothing that pulls my eye. These did because it's like a glittery, toppery type of deal. It means that I don't actually have to worry about like if I don't like the color, because it's like an additive. I love those specialty shades, those specialty items. You know, I love pencils and like eyeshadow pencils, eyeshadow crayons, toppers, multis, duos, liquid shadows, cream shadows, my color cases. So I like the idea of these. They fit really well into that specialty category for me. The lipsticks, while they are nice, it's not so nice that I'm like, I want more lipsticks from Ulta. It was a cute little set when I got it. And their lipsticks now look okay. They don't look terrible. They don't look great. As somebody who has a lot of lipstick, I was actually going to do a lip swatch video after this, but with these cornflakes, I don't think that's the smart thing to do. Someone with a large lipstick collection who is a little bit bougie when it comes to what I'm looking for in lipsticks, regardless of the price of them, Ulta just doesn't have anything else that makes me go, I want to try this. If they had deeper shades that were actually as deep as the swatch on the app is or was, then maybe I could see myself buying the deeper shades. But they have a lot of shades that will look kind of like dark brown on like the circle that will be the swatch, but then when you see the bullet, it's like more of a dark raspberry, dark berry, you know, those dark plummy shades that are very deep on lighter skin, and those are just not interesting to me. I have enough of that myself. So with that being said, guys, I did have a good time. I hope you enjoyed this. I did. Great. Yes, that words. Can I use them? I don't know. But thank you for tuning into the channel. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been me, Jasmine, the Buffet Witch. You already know that because you're well informed. I will see you in the next video, which will be very, very soon. But until then, guys, take care of yourself. Exfoliate your lips before you do any lip content. Okay? Drink some waters, take your vitamins, and I will talk to you in the next video, which will be very, very soon. But until then,